With all the information at our fingertips, searching how to improve mental health is all too easy. But making changes is easier said than done, especially when you're bombarded with so much advice. In this video, I'm not going to tell you what you can buy or eat to prevent yourself from slipping into a depressive mood. We're going deeper than that. Using self-determination theory and some personal insights, I'm going to share with you the foundational framework that you need to take your next step forward. Focus on what you can control. Don't leave now. I know you're rolling your eyes, you're slumping over your device, and you're saying, Anna, I've heard this a million times. But self-determination theory illustrates not only why we need to do this, but also how to focus on what you can control. That way we can regain our agency and feel capable again. Self-determination theory proposes that we have 3 core psychological needs to improve our motivation and well-being. The first one is autonomy, which is choosing and doing things yourself. The second one is competence, which is building and using your skills. And the third one is relatedness, which is feeling connected to others and feeling a sense of belonging. But these 3 needs fall short without another key component, self-efficacy, which is believing you're capable of doing things and of learning new skills. Since relatedness is more of a feeling, let's focus on competence, autonomy, and self-efficacy for now. These 3 pillars of self-determination theory all influence each other. You can't be autonomous if you don't have the skills, and you can't build the skills if you don't believe that you can build the skills. So that makes it seem like a little bit of a catch-22, right? But don't worry, you weren't born yesterday, so you already have some skills and you are already doing some things. I know you're autonomous because you chose to watch this video. So at least a small part of you is holding on to that glimmer of self-efficacy. You wouldn't be watching this if you didn't at least believe that you were capable of making a change. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you just need to believe in yourself. I love faith, trust, and pixie dust as much as the next girl, but I love evidence more, and so does your brain. You won't believe in yourself unless you highlight to your brain that you are capable and the skills you have. This gives your brain evidence that you are competent and autonomous. That's why you need to choose to focus on what you can control and use the skills you have to remind yourself that you are capable. So, what foundational things are actually in your control? We're going to go back to the basics. Sleep, eat, move, and connect. The basics aren't always easy, but they are essential. And I know that when everything feels like it's falling apart, taking care of yourself can feel extremely exhausting. But that's why we need to set a bare minimum for each of these foundational habits. And by that, I mean start a sentence with, this habit counts as a success if, and then include the phrase at least. So for example, sleep counts as a success to me if I at least lie in bed for 8 to 9 hours at night. Eating counts as a success to me if I eat at least 2 different meals in a day. Movement counts as a success to me if I move my body intentionally for at least 10 minutes each day. Something like following a YouTube video of some gentle stretching or just walking to take the trash out with intention. Connection counts as a success to me if I reach out to at least 1 friend per day. You don't have to do these all at once. Just pick one and then try another one the next week. Give them time to stabilize. But I do believe you are capable of all of those things. And if that already feels too overwhelming, then start smaller. When I find myself crying on the floor, uncontrollable, don't know where to start, my mum's voice echoes in my head. Just make your bed. Just start there. Toss everything else onto the floor. We can deal with it later. Make your bed and we can pick up the rest. The biggest reason making your bed helps is that it's a very quick path to self-determination. Step 1, choose to make your bed. Step 2, use your skills to smooth out your sheets. Step 3, look at your freshly made bed and say, hey, I did that. I'm capable of something and maybe I can do more. Which brings me to actively notice your small wins. Every small action you take helps, but you have to actually notice it to make progress. So let's take a little neuroscience tangent to explain this. Your brain has a system called the reticular activating system. It's basically like a little magnet in your brain that brings things to the front of your conscious awareness that it thinks are important. The more you train it to notice something, the more it will notice similar things. So if you train it to look for your successes, it will look for your successes more often. So when you complete something small, that's evidence of competence. When you think, I did this, so maybe I can do more, that gives your brain a sense of self-efficacy. And when you choose to do something yourself, that's autonomy. Now train yourself to notice this. Together, these form a positive feedback loop and improve your well-being. So start by celebrating your small wins. Start with saying yay whenever you send an email, or giving yourself a smiley face whenever you take the trash out, or giving yourself a little applause when you make your bed. Taking a moment to acknowledge our small wins trains our brain to recognize more of them over time. Honestly, the fact that you're even watching this video means that you've already started. So let's take a moment to notice that together. Drop a comment below with your favorite celebratory emoji or expression like yay, or we did it, or I can do this. My next tip is to step outside of yourself. A question I like to keep in mind that's helped me way more than a lot of motivational quotes is, what would someone who loves themselves do right now? Maybe that person would drink some water. Maybe they would get some fresh air. Maybe they would text a friend and say, hey, I'm not having a great time right now. Are you available? All of those options are within your reach, and you already have the competence to do them. You just need to choose to do them. And just to be clear, you don't need to feel that self-love yet. The great thing about being human is that we can imagine things and play pretend. So let's recap. Basically, what we learned today is that focusing on what you can control helps rebuild competence, autonomy, and self-efficacy. To use our autonomy, we need to choose to prioritize the basics: sleep, eat, move, connect. To use our competence, we need to set a bare minimum for these basics. And to grow our self-efficacy, we need to actively notice our small wins, starting with these basics. When you're in doubt, ask, what would someone who loves themselves do right now? And if this is all too much, just make your bed. No matter how you're doing, I'm really proud of you for watching this video. Subscribe for more science-informed ADHD-friendly strategies, and I will see you next time.